I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.
I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who were involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.
Okay, let's get started. How's everybody? Good morning. Welcome to our weekly market update and also some real case studies on how the market is doing today in terms of real estate investing. We're going to start off with a quick introduction of the host organization, Real Estate IQ. It is a full solution company for distressed motivated sellers. It's really kind of your go-to source for distressed motivated sellers. And that's actually our core product here, off-market leads, where we mine the freshest data on a daily basis so you can feed that to your outreach system and build a fantastic marketing pipeline. And we're going to talk a little bit about how that works as well. Real Estate IQ is basically, you know, where you can get your leads, your deals as well. You know, we have started doing marketing to some of the distressed seller leads, and we have now ready-made leads. So, excuse me, ready-made deals. So if you're looking for a deal you're ready to purchase and work on, we have a couple of deals available right now. There's also events and classes where we can constantly get educated, right? And stay updated to the market. And then also we have news and market insights. And you get a glimpse of and a taste of what we're about today as well. Some success stories, right? Clients are talking about profitable growth driven by distressed seller leads, a highly targeted list where you can really get in touch with the sellers, and foundational to success in the market today. You know, really it's driven by a constant flow of leads. I have found that, you know, obviously we can manually mine the data ourselves, but when we're doing ourselves, it's hard to be consistent. You know, we get busy, we get stressed, we miss a day or two, and then, you know, we can't do it. If we're solopreneurs, it's so much easier when there's a team we can rely on to mine this data on a consistent basis, and then, you know, we just have a system that builds on top of it, right? And we need to really focus our attention on talking and working the deals, talking to the motivated sellers and working the deals. And that's what these leads are enabling us to do. In terms of, you know, tangible monetary success, right? 10,000 here, $1 million under contract by Daryl, 30,000 in profits. First deal by Salvador. Jordan got 2 deals, 60,000. Ismail, 80,000. Consistency, right? Homero, for 6 months, 100,000. So a lot of successes here. Now, of course, what we're sharing here are basically case studies and for educational purposes only. And we don't offer investment, financial, or legal advice. And if you got a lead or a deal you need assistance with, we can certainly offer our assistance. You know, our goal is to help you win. And so just share your information with us, and then we'll connect you with the right folks to help you get this deal all the way to closing. So today's agenda, we just did our quick intro, and then we're going to talk about some market updates and a case study. We're going to continue with the 2 condos, follow the 2 condo deals that we've been working on, and some of the underwriting nuances as a real case study, and we can all learn from the experience with the analysis. And then we'll actually skip our feature topic. We have a market scan that the recording that we made was not ready. We're gonna have it ready. All you need to do is to email us, and we'll send you a copy of that recording, and then we'll close and share our upcoming events. All right, so let's get started. And any questions you have, you know, you can share on the chat, and then we'll talk about it. We'll feature some of your questions. We'll answer your questions live. So a couple of market updates. Well, you know, the biggest news is the mortgage rate. We're now seeing the 30-year fixed rate has dropped under 6%. And what does that mean, right? That's gonna mean, number one, it's easier to refinance. We're actually seeing DSCR quotes being at 5.99%, again, under 6%. It's gonna make refinance more affordable. That's one, the demand on the refi. And then another one is driving demand for buyers. And that's really good news, especially that we're about to enter into the buying season. And this is the lowest since September of 2022. In Texas, we see inventory has gone up over more than 2 out of every 3 sales in last year have seen a price cut of at least 3%, with an average cut of about 7.4%, and a median cut of 5.4% from the original listing price. So that's significant, right? We're seeing big price cuts, and again, the demand is starting to get driven by the mortgage rate. So that side is gonna start warming up. And for Florida, 1 out of every 3 active listings are now seeing price reduction. And again, right, the demand is coming up, and so we're gonna see a more balanced market. So what does that mean for Texas and Florida investors? You know, we've been promoting and kind of driving that Texas and Florida are the right places to invest in, whether you live in these 2 states or you are or you're not, and you're looking at a remote investing. You know, the environment is just in such a way that it really favors reaching out to distressed sellers, right? The folks that really need to sell, they can't sell, and that has been reflected. We're also observing that in our actual outreach to sellers too. A lot of times they don't have any bids, they don't have any buyers, there's no prospect, and so you can leverage that to drive a steeper discount, or you know, someone who is willing to negotiate into a better deal, and that's really good news for wholesalers. Now let's take a look at our deals update. And I thought this is a really good example on how we can use creative finance to make a deal that normally, you know, doesn't work, and we're able to kind of find a way to make it work. Okay, and if you recall, we talked about this last week. There are 2 condos in Fort Worth. There are no repairs needed. They're rent ready. In fact, they are already rented. And the seller has been asking for $83,000, and they have dropped the asking multiple times now. It was on the market for a couple hundred days, right? Over 6 months, and just no takers. So we talked about this, that you know, the first option and the highest offer that we can give based on the 1% rule is about $72,500 for each unit. So that's quite a bit lower than the asking price. And when we did some title search, we also found that it was purchased in 2022 for $81,000, which is why they're asking for 83. They don't want to take a loss, right? And when we run the comps, there isn't that much equity in the house, right? There aren't that many comps that actually support the asking price. But the seller is stuck, and they don't want to take a loss, and they don't want to, I guess, they want to take a big loss, and they don't want to keep the house on the market. They want to exit. So how do we help them? Well, we looked at the financing terms. So what they have is a mortgage, and it was not a low interest rate. It's around 6%, so it's kind of on par with what we have today, around 6%. And the PI is 548. Now, if we go with their asking price, right, at 83,000, you know, which they, you know, kind of give them an incentive to take the deal, which is a little bit higher than it's exactly what they're asking for. And when we give them a little bit of cash, and then the rest is seller finance equity. And this is supposed to say 26,000. Now, when we start looking at a 30-year, what we are seeing is that the total monthly payment after we add up the HOA is about 1,000. Okay, and it's rented for 1,000, which means if we were to purchase a deal like this, there's no much margin to be made. Maybe a wrap is going to give us a little more flexibility. But the spread is not kind of big enough to be attractive. Okay, so this way is kind of like a no. It doesn't work even for a sub 2. Now there are a couple of ways where we can try to make this deal work. Number one is if we at our exit we can get a bigger cash flow. Okay, and that turned out, and we ran that scenario. That turned out to be kind of difficult because the comps don't really support the asking price, and there are quite a few houses that are not selling in that area. Another option is to lengthen the terms. So by lengthening that to 40 years, okay, and that's our proposal now. And we're gonna give the gentleman the offer today. So if we're able to extend it to, instead of 30 years to 40 years, right, and they're able to refi, so it'll be contingent on being able to refi it to 40 years, a loan modification. Then the PI for the mortgage is 300, and the 26K seller finance is gonna be $93. So that brings the total payment to $670. And now, if we're looking at kind of the spread between that and 1,000, that's a little more attractive. That's more palatable for making a deal work. And if we have 2 deals where we're looking at about a little over $300 a month of a spread, about 600 for both units, that looks better. Okay, so what does this mean, right? And what's the takeaway here? Is that when we kind of look at how we can structure offers in creative finance, there are many levers that you can do. You can play with the interest rates. You can play with the how you exit, right? There's another interest rate that you can play with there. And if that doesn't work, there's also a possibility of extending the term, make the term a little bit longer, and then your monthly payments got to drop, and that would create a potential, a good enough spread to make a deal work. So that's what we're gonna go with in our underwriting, and that's how we're gonna go with on our offer. So we'll see what the seller says. All right, next segment is our featured deals. So this is in Elgin, and I just got back from visiting this property. It was about 4 hours each way, so it was quite exhausting trip. But I think it was pretty productive. We got to see the house. We got to really see the current condition of the property, and nothing too surprising. We think it's from a rehab perspective, it's not going to be a very extensive rehab. It's still a project, but it's not going to be a big project. The ARV is about 300,000 based on tax roll, and Zestimate puts it at around 273. So we think, based on that and the current mortgage at this value, there's still a good enough margin to be made for the buyer. So the buyer, when they come in, they're gonna take over the mortgage, right? There's an entry fee here, and the financing's already in place. And then the next step is having enough cash to do the quick rehab and sell it at the ARV value. So, we think this is a pretty good deal. And for anybody that's interested in kind of seeing the details and the photos and everything, you can contact us. Just scan that QR code to get qualified as a buyer, and we'll send you more details. And these deals are, there's updates all the time. And so probably what you want to do, is to kind of stay. Number one is to opt in on the form so that we can keep you updated on the progress of the deals, and kind of keep you updated on each deal. If you tell us which one you're interested in. All right. So when it comes to the inventory, we got some buy and hold properties, some fix and flip properties, and we're adding new inventories in here every month. And there's also raw land as well if you're a land investor. So that brings us to the Deal Accelerator program. You can join our waitlist for this program. Right now, the program is full. And but what we would like to do is to train you up on how to do the deals, and then start doing deals with you together. So by being a part of this program, right, you can kind of see the trainings there, the mentorship, right, how exactly we deal with each lead and each deal, in addition to how you're gonna access and reach out to these distressed sellers to create your pipeline. If you just need a deal, you don't want to work the leads, we have the deals program. We can also kind of hand feed a couple of deals for you until you get more comfortable into doing outreach, in addition to helping you get the funding you need. So what we're hoping to do here with this program is to give you an environment, put you in an environment where you can succeed, right? Everything that you need to get your first deal, get your feet wet, and gaining confidence in the subsequent deals. And we feel, after 5 to 10 deals, you're gonna feel really comfortable with the outreach, right? And kind of continue to gain more experience by working more deals. Okay, and we can do the deals together. We can partner on the deals. Here are the track record. Consistent pipeline, I think, is the most important, especially when we are just starting out, and being able to do this on a consistent basis is key. Okay, we're gonna skip the market scan, like I said, and if you're interested, just send us an email and we'll share the recording with you. So we're gonna end a little bit early today. Here are upcoming events. We already had the how to find discounted houses last night. And then we're gonna have the pre-foreclosure gold mine this evening, along with a couple more additional classes. These are all very popular classes that folks are very interested in. It's about deal finding, right? How can we find deals and then leverage these deals to build wealth? And then we have some live events, right? Today, the Deal Makers Live. And then we have the office hours tomorrow. If you have deals or if you have questions, that's where you can get more kind of one-on-one or kind of group coaching type of a setup. So make sure you attend the office hours to ask live questions. And then we have our open house, where we talked about all the opportunities that we see on the market and how we plan to disrupt the market and benefit from that disruption. I think one of the really exciting thing that I just want to give everybody a glimpse on is an app that we are developing, that we are soft launching now, that allows you to find the deals that are near you, and you can do a lot of outreach, and you can even drive to the property to talk directly to a distressed seller. So stay tuned on that. And I think the market scan video may have a demo on it. So if you're interested, really make sure that you ask for it. Okay. And finally, to kind of end today's session, I just want to offer this promotion here to you for serious investors, right? you can have access to these distressed motivated sellers for just a fraction of what the asking price is. Make sure you do that to secure a deal. These prices are actually very limited time only. There have been talks about the value that we bring to the market with these distressed sellers and how much they are worth and how much they should be for. And there are some talks about that these prices will not last. So you want to take advantage of it and lock in the price. Here's the QR code to scan, and you can schedule a demo. Take a look at what it looks like. And I'm gonna end this with our final message. It's all about taking action. We can the dream will only become a reality through consistent and persistent action. And a lot of times we may think we have a good idea, but until we actually start doing it and kind of go through all the difficulties, it will remain an idea. So just want to encourage everyone to take a lot of action, right? Take massive action. It's okay to make mistakes. That's a part of the action and learning. And you can start your real estate journey anytime. It's about getting started now. So, I have heard somebody said that the best time to get into real estate, because real estate is such a awesome appreciating asset. The best time to get in was 20 years ago. And we have seen a lot of appreciation on real estate assets now. Like we have clients that built a portfolio about 10 years ago, and now they're kind of sitting on a really nice nest egg because of the appreciation and the equity that got in because they're holding on to the real estate asset. And the second best time to get in real estate is today. And so, there's never a perfect time to get into something, and you can always learn as you go. And I find that we learn faster when we're actually doing the deals. We call it immersive learning, right? When you're really, really in it. And so don't waste the opportunity. There's a reason that you're here today and kind of listening to and watching this live stream. So take advantage of that and start taking action. All right. So that's all we have for today. We look forward to hearing your questions and anything that you want to discuss. We'll also see you in our live events tomorrow. All right, everybody, have a good day and have a great rest of the weekend.
I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.